All right, well, it is down to the wire for negotiations between the United Auto Workers Union and the so-called Big Three U.S. automakers.
Yep, GM, Ford, Stellantis, they have just over 24 hours to hammer out a final deal ahead of a possible strike. NBC News correspondent Jesse Kirsh is at the annual Detroit Auto Show to explain how we got here.
Detroit Auto Show is kicking off, but arguably there's more buzz around what's going on behind the scenes. Negotiations between the Big Three, Stellantis, GM, and Ford, and the United Auto Workers, a union representing roughly 150,000 workers for those three companies that could potentially be walking off the job if new agreements are not reached with those companies by tomorrow night's deadline. This is something that is captivating this industry, and it has implications even beyond those roughly 150,000 jobs. If you're looking to buy a new car, this is something you might want to be keeping an eye on, because depending on how long a strike goes out, it could impact the types of cars you can choose from at the dealer's lot. If you already own a car but need a repair, there are concerns about being able to get the parts you need as well, depending on how a strike plays out. So we are watching the machinations going on behind the scenes. Negotiations are ongoing. Today on CNBC, the president of the UAW making clear that the plan would be to strike against all three of these automakers if agreements are not reached. And the deadline is 11:59 p.m. tomorrow night, on Thursday night. So that's something we're watching closely here in this city. And we're also getting reporting about the possibility of targeted strikes, the potential strike strategy for the UAW. And if that were to happen, it might allow the union to specifically target certain plants, certain places where workers are working on behalf of these companies instead of just sending everyone on strike. And that could potentially allow the union to make a strike last longer if they can make their strike fund go further, if they're not having to pay as many workers. So we're looking to see what a potential strike would look like, if a strike will happen, or if agreements can be reached. We heard from Ford CEO last night, and he called what they have put in front of UAW now, quote, our most generous offer in 80 years of the UAW and Ford. But the CEO also added that his company is prepared for a strike. So all eyes in this industry right now appear to be on Detroit, on these three companies and the union, to see what can be done, if anything can be done, to avert strikes by tomorrow night. Back to you.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app, or follow us on social media.